good.
I'm boogieing. Good music.
Hello, everybody. We're here today with two great people that worked with me at the Alien event. They're both well-known authors, speakers, and they both help produce events. And we each have a different way of going up the summit to the future of all the cosmos that we're now exploring. So today we're going to discuss alienology, super life, super conscious, soul paths, and how each individual, how do we know what's true? Because we read books and we meet people, but Janet and I have been doing this since at least 1980, and I had my first genealogy and alienology and astrology readings from people that were already into this metaphysical esoterics. And the guy that wrote Men Are From Mars, and Women Are From Venus, his mommy taught me in her bookstore, Aquarian Age bookstore, which was right close to Rice down in Houston. So I've had a lot of reading, and then I went to Hawaii and worked in a lot of bookstores and read all that. So I sort of combined everything I've learned, plus helping people cross over, plus helping people learn on their own path. So I wrote a book called Life Coaching by T.J. Marshall, Ace Life Coaching. I also wrote this one. It's a real cheap book, Teresa J. Morris, Enchanted Development. So we're going to be discussing books because Brad's going to be writing his book. He's over 50 now. And our Authors Club encourages everybody over 50 to be the author of their own life story. Now, Janet Lessin has been with me for years. She's my BFF, my co-producer. And she and I don't always agree on things, but we found out through the years we've not talked to each other when we get upset. So like housewives of LA or Salt Lake City. So we've learned that it's okay to disagree, and this is a world of polarity. So we hope you agree that it's okay in our ET talk, because I made pins we could wear at the events, and Brad got one. Did you get the ET talk and the UFO associate pin, both of them?
Yeah, I have one with me. I'll have to get it out of the closet on my other coat.
Oh, good. Yes, please wear it at Alien event. Those are very exclusive. It cost me a lot of money, almost $1,000 for the first two molds, because I made two pins. So those that actually meet me in person can obtain them. But Janet met me in 2017. Now she's going to tell a little story today about how we got into this, but we want you as our new guest together because you wanted Janet here. I've interviewed Brad before.
I did. She's amazing. I feel like Janet has a frequency to share, a calm frequency, but also a no holds bar when she's telling her truth. She's telling like it is, but she also is very calm. I feel like she makes me feel very welcome. Both of you do, but especially Janet. You really make me feel welcome, like I can speak my mind. Other people I know, they're too busy. They don't have time to talk. But you always give me time, and I really appreciate that from my heart.
Brad.
Janet, your turn. You want to introduce yourself, and then I hope I've introduced you both good enough, but please, whatever you'd like to say.
I'm going to put up a show page with a long, there we go, a show page with our long bio and short bios, and people can read up about who we are, how to contact us, that type of thing. But we've been having a discussion before the show about differences of opinions, and I've been researching ufology, well, basically back since the crib, because I came in as a conscious person. And then when I was between 12 and 18 months, the extraterrestrials toned me down because I was talking too much and saying things and upsetting my mother because I knew all this stuff and she didn't know how to handle it. And I'm sure, Teresa, you've had similar experiences.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So when a baby comes in and they're talking full sentences and they're still in their diapers and in the crib, they really upset your parents. So anyway, I had intervention too. I've learned to be, as a therapist, I've been doing hypnotherapy and counseling all my life basically, but professionally since I met Dr. Lessin in 1997, is that you need to listen to people's stories, because everybody has a piece of the puzzle. Everybody contributes, and not to bad rap or shame them, or make them feel bad about themselves. But let's hear you express fully your story. And if you're angry, say it. If you want to cry, say it. We witness you and your authentic, true self. What do you have to tell us? And so, Teresa and I have been working with experiencers, contactees, and of course, they feel a lot of shame because the society doesn't accept them, and so you have to integrate that and say, "Well, I don't care what they think about me," right? But it takes a while to get there, right? And so I understand that you had some confusion because you're relatively new to the field, and you're trying to digest. I mean, this is hundreds of years and thousands of years of information, and we're trying to synthesize it down and summarize it. But there's no the truth. There's your person. Actually, like AI says, I come from my lived experiences. So your lived experiences, Teresa's lived experiences, mine, are vital for humanity, and it's our legacy, what we leave to the next generation. So I encourage you, Brad, to tell your personal truth. And I guess it's like when you hear people's stories, don't take them too personally. Hear it with a grain of salt, right? Be discerning about because what you take on is like an energy, and you need to know what you're taking on. And some people don't. They take on something and it's like, oh, that's not what I intended for myself. So always look inside for yourself. Does this resonate with me? Is this something that I can back and what's my personal truth? So that's it. So Brad, what would you like to tell us about yourself and your path? And
I'll mention that I always felt connected to ancient cultures and spirituality. I've always felt connected to ancient cultures and spirituality. So in some ways, I'm not new to this. I was fascinated by it since 1978, 79, but I didn't go into real depth. And then I went into a period of being a born-again Christian, and they teach that anything that's not biblical is of the devil. So I kind of accepted that, but then I always believed that I was reincarnated, so part of me didn't accept it. So around mid 2000s, I started to go back and say, well, I'm gonna look into metaphysics, because I always felt drawn to it. And one of the people who brought me back into that was Doreen Virtue, who now has turned into a born-again Christian and says that all her work of 30 years is garbage. That's what she said. And she was teaching people angel therapy. So anyway, I
didn't remember who she was, but the angel cards, yes. I think
the cards.
I've seen them before. Somebody brought them to one of our events. So that's interesting. Even within ourselves, we go through different periods. I'm a Christian, I'm a born again, I'm a this, I'm a that. Our identification changes as we get more information, as we learn and grow, evolve. So good for you.
Yes. So I've had a lot of different experiences. In about 2013, I started to get more interested in extraterrestrial information, because a few years before that, I started studying in depth Helena Blavatsky, Theosophy.
I did too. Go ahead.
And that got me back into the Ascended Masters, Saint Germain and the Violet Flame, which I'm currently practicing. It's one of my practices. But I also have other interests like the extraterrestrial things, and I feel like they coincide in different ways, and other metaphysical paths like New Thought, or just the idea of everything is part of the universe, or source consciousness. And my friend Lieber Ron, he has a discussion group, and we talk about the oneness of the universe. He calls himself messenger from the universe. So that seems to be a common theme, and is that the universe is consciousness, and it's developing itself, and we are fractals or individualizations of those things. but different teachings describe it differently. And then different extraterrestrial races explain it different, but in some way, I guess they communicate together, and then some of them don't. So that's what I'm exploring. Plus, what is the actual lineage of humanity? Like, what are our origins? What about the black people and the white people? Are they from different planets? Were they born here originally? So those are the timelines and stories that I've been exploring since about 2013.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the last few years, I started to explore the Anunnaki and Sumerian thing, which I touched on a little bit, but I got more interested in it. But I still feel like I'm more in tune with the whatever the highest vibrational beings are, whether they're light forms or Nordic aliens or life, whatever the bright ones are, the ones that are doing good for the universe, I support them. But all beings, whatever they're doing, there's a purpose for them. The darkest dark in the universe, there's a purpose for it. So I kind of learned that from a musician named Sun Ra, and he said he was from another planet. And he always said everything in the universe has a purpose. And he talked about the importance of darkness. He said, well, I'm black and people say I'm evil, so I must be an evil angel. But he wasn't an evil person. He was a very good person. But he didn't like the idea of good, because good equates with righteousness. And it's like people that say they're righteous, they don't demonstrate it. That's what he said. So.
Duality. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Go ahead,
I'd
Jim.
like to answer your question. We are all one species because we can breed and reproduce, and our children can reproduce. So yes, that's a fact. So humans are all one species.
What about non-sexual reproduction? Because I heard on Venus that they can reproduce by just sending each other energy, and then a baby comes out.
Yeah, everything, all the above. It's probably all true on some level somewhere. But what we have here is kind of a co-creation, and we have a story of the earth, and we have a story around our genetics. And so, I mix the scientific and the spiritual and the stories and everything. And it just seems very logical. I'm a logical person. I'm an Aquarian, right? That and this is my husband's a scientist. Capricorn, very logical. And my husband is a he studied at UCLA and he studied everything. He's a nerd. I mean, like a super geek. And he would go into other classrooms, just sit in and listen to everything. And he was just hanging around all the time. So he's absorbed it all. But what he was saying, what I agree with, is that genetics is an interesting science, and we're looking at it, and we can uncover the story in our own DNA that we have, and we get back to these origin stories, like who we are. So then you look at the experiencer stories, and we have experiencers that have stories of they interbred with aliens and they have offspring. Now the question is that real? Is that true? That's what we started. Is that real? Is that true? Well, maybe there was intervention. So there's this woman, what's her name, Cynthia Crawford, who told me right before she died that she had been a genetic implant into her sister's womb. She had been biologically, genetically engineered as an egg, as a fetus, and then she was very tiny. So she was a zygote, and she was inserted into her mother's womb. Her mother was already pregnant with her sister. And her dad confessed to her that he was in a secret program. They were stationed in the ocean off of Korea. It goes back to the 30s or 40s. They've been doing these genetic experiments. And that's why she had such extreme contact. And he said, you're a combination of human, reptilian, gray, mantis or something. I forget exactly what species. But she was shocked. But he said, I apologize. I wasn't allowed to tell you, but I'm dying. So I'm going to confess this to you. And that's what, so she told me that she knew she was going back to the ship when she died. So that's another, so I look at all these stories, I go, whoa, right? What is really going on here? So we're in a process. I don't think any of us have the end, the conclusion, right?
It wouldn't be any fun if we did. If we're all
Right.
seekers or travelers or face spacers and time. But I feel it all the time. That's why
Oh yeah.
I call myself a cosmos commander. And that's how I work in the universe with GitHub and the developers that help AI to help us. So in my world, AI has always been used, and I called one of them Gus. And Janet wanted to explain more about the different parts of my reality. But Brad, we're here today for you. So why don't you ask Janet and I questions that may be on your mind that you're fixing to go speak as the only representative of our UFO Association.
I have a question. I really like who you mentioned, Cynthia Crawford. I spent time following her videos, and I never got to talk to her, but I did. I was on. There was a lady who used to have like a group, Day Remy, and Cynthia would be on these chats, and I participated a couple of years before Cynthia passed. And I felt like I felt like what she was saying was true about her being created in a test tube or something. And she had a twin sister who had a totally different genetics, right?
Right.
I wish I had met her. I'm not sure if she has daughters or children. And she had a business partner who was helping her and who continued making the sculptures for a while, but she decided to quit. And I don't know if she still has the molds for the sculptures. I have one. TJ, I sent you a picture of the blue Pleiadian lady that I have in my living room. I don't have it here with me.
It was on my phone, but it was so tiny. I have to wait till like today to get back and upload and archive on the.
Well, you could look up and her website doesn't exist. It was etsculptors.com
Let me get
because I
this.
used to go there all the time and look at it.
Okay, well, we'll be talking about a lot of people that are ET contactees on ET Talk with UFP Associates, UFO Association, and those that have met me personally are going to the alien event because I've never met Melissa Morton or talked to her, but I feel like we're kindred spirits because we're both psychics and help people.
Is that don't tell me, a mantis?
Yes, I told
Beautiful.
Cynthia that I had contact with mantis people, and she was packing up, and she came over and she said, "Here, let me give this to you."
I feel it. It has an energy. I feel it. So one of my visions was of the Zuma Zeta. I think it appeared in the sky, looking at me.
I love those. You know what? On TV, on some of the UFO shows that I've seen, they make the mantis where they come over. They seem nice, but in the jail cell, he went over and he ate somebody. So in sci-fi and Hollywood, they use what we talk about because they don't know, but they love to create aliens. And so, alien talk is fun. And we're going to discuss alienology. How many types we each know of are feel kindred spirits too?
Well, I had an experience with her. Mine was female. She's giant. I was in her arms like a baby, but I was about 9 years old. So that's a scale. She's probably 10 feet tall or something, between 7 and 10 feet tall. Because
I'm drawn to like dragonflies and mantis.
Yeah. And
the kindred spirits.
Ones. A lot of times there's when I have experiences on board wherever underneath Johnson Atoll, there was a mantis gray hybrid, very tall, probably 7, 8, 9, 10 feet tall, and it was in charge. I don't know if they're male or female. I didn't see their genitals, but whatever they were. And so for me, I had a very horrendous experience where I was in a skating rink and this boy molested me. I'll just leave it like that. And I came home and it was horrible. He said, "I just got you pregnant." And I knew nothing about sex. And I go, "I'm 9 years old and I'm pregnant." And I came home and I said, "I'm going to bed." And I just laid down and I said, "Oh, please God, just take me home. I don't want to be 9 years old and pregnant. Please just get me out of this world." And the mantis came and held me. And whatever she did, she put this energy through me. She loved me. And then I woke up the next morning. It's like, oh, okay, I can stay alive. I can do this world. Yeah, it's hard, but I can do this. So she's been with me ever since. So I don't have her name.
I'd love to see you have a suit on. Are you still at the I Am Temple? Oh,
I am.
Oh, look how nice that is. Wow.
yes. You look like a saint.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Saint
So
Brad.
I'd like you to tell us about where you are and what it is.
Yeah, your turn.
Please. I am in Chicago. Please. I haven't been
Well,
there
they have different places, but I'm in Chicago. Yes. And it was founded by Guy and Edna Ballard in the 1930s, and it's the most genuine Ascended Master teachings. There are some other organizations with similar teachings, so I feel the Masters of Wisdom also part of the Great White Brotherhood, which is not a racial thing. They are helping humanity behind the scenes.
Yes. And I feel like that's what we're doing here now because we're in the now and we showed up to be humans, even though it's hard sometimes. I've died.
We made a choice before we incarnated, but the idea of the star seeds is that we came to help humanity. So I'm going to tell my story about where I first heard about star seeds through the book The Star People by Brad and Francie Steiger. Have either of you read that book?
Oh yeah, I have it right here.
Gotta pull it up.
I have it here somewhere. I just
Did you know Francie? Because that was his second wife.
Yeah.
His last wife was Sherry, but I'm not talking about her. Francie she wrote her own book.
Oh, look at it. It's a well-worn cover. She must have read it a number of times.
I have mine, but I didn't bring it with me.
I don't have that anymore. I have moved so many times in my life until I finally landed with Dr. Lessin. But I'm going to go on thrift books and get a new copy.
I bought a copy of Reflections from an Angel's Eye, was his wife's book.
Oops.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, she has all of a sudden the screens. Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, I got it. The Star People. I'm going to reorder that. Okay. So what did you get? What did you get from that book that you really resonate with?
Because Francie, well, she supposedly channeled it, that there's the star helpers and the star children or star people. The star people are actually have genetics of extraterrestrials, and the star helpers, they just resonate with it. I wish I had the quotes with me. I probably don't.
You don't know the page? It's not like the Bible, folks. But
it's near the beginning, TJ. It's near the beginning. Look for a quote from Francie. It'll say channeled messages from Francie about star seeds. Okay. I don't know the exact page. Maybe like 55 in the 40s or 50, the second chapter near the end.
Okay. Well, AI can look up any of this for us, folks. Now,
right. There's a video interview of he's interviewing Francie in the video. It's called the UFO Story or something from 1982, and there's a video, and you can see her talk. She's a real calm person.
I'll tell you this, Brad. It says over 20 years of seeking and studying contemporary prophets, seers, and UFO contactees seemed to culminate with my discovery of Francie. So they exist, two helpers of humankind on Earth today. Francie received as star seeds, those Earthlings whose genes carry the inherent characteristics of their extraterrestrial ancestors, together with their human forebears. And then there are the star helpers. I think this is psychically where we
Yes. You found it, right? What I wanted you to get.
Yeah, see, I take mental orders good, don't I? So, and there are star helpers. Those Earthlings, it's on the next line, Earthlings, who have inherited the genes of human ancestors who interacted with the extraterrestrials in ancient times, or who have evolutionized more quickly than other earthlings. So it goes on to say star helpers may not have physical characteristics in their pattern profile, but they are descendants of the ancient ones. So it's a really good book, folks. And many of us grew up with this and also Eric von Daniken. But this one affected so many of us on our past that you'll find that there's books that affect your psyche on many levels, and we all do that. So, do y'all like being up close? Or Brenda says we're too close. Do you think we should back up some? I don't know.
Who?
Let's see. Do y'all like that better?
I like the three across.
You like the three across?
Yeah.
All right.
That was good. Yes, for this conversation, this is perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where do you want to take the star seeds and star helpers? Because I've always had written for many years since the 1980s on my path in Hawaii. I wrote several books about the Ascension Age. Now, I went to 1987 to 89 was a big years for my path to start Psychic Network. You'll see up here over me that Psychic University, American Communications Online, and on YouTube, I have Psychic Channel Network that I started with Susan Wyman, a very good psychic in California. But we have Psychic Channel Network. But all of this had to do with star people and the fact that I've been visited as a child, which Janet knows. So I've had many visits, and I've died, and I've seen orbs, and I've seen grays, and I've seen tall blue people, and I've worked with people like us on ships, and I worked. Go ahead, and I'll stop here.
I just want to say you're a little bit garbled. I want to make sure we're getting a clear recording of what's going on with your sound. It's a little bit garbled.
Yeah, I can tell. I can hear what she's saying, but it's not real clear.
Yeah, it's not real clear. Just wanted to correct that before we do a whole show that way.
Okay, I don't know where.
Yeah,
I'm on.
better.
Now you sound clearer because you got closer.
Okay, closer to the screen.
Yeah, that's okay.
All right.
I wanted to address the star. So when the star people and star helpers and all that came about, it seemed to influence the subsequent generations with their writings and information. Did you notice that, Teresa? It's like it came down through time, and we still have the concept to this day. And people symbol it, and they say, and they had different categories of star beings and who we are, star seeds, and even Nisha Johnson calls it the star seeds, right? So we're started with Brad and Francie Stagger. Teresa, did you get to meet them in person? I have a concept that when you breathe the same air, so if you meet somebody in person, you're actually sharing breath, because when you breathe out, your molecules go into the room, and when you breathe in, you receive everybody's molecules. And I actually was researching, and it seems like there might be a level of DNA exchange, on a molecular level when you breathe the same air. So if you've been able to breathe the same air as Michael Jackson or something, so part of that, because we all are one at the highest level, so part of that on a human level is you're taking in literally their breath, and you have that. So did you get to share space with Brad or Francie or Sherry Steiger in your life?
No, only Brad Markus and Janet Lessin.
And David Barman.
Yep, David Barman. Yeah.
He's a promoter.
But I met Misha through the first time I went to Saeed's conference, 2020, is when I met Misha Johnson.
Yeah. I
looked at her and I said, "You remind me of Cynthia Crawford," because she looks like her a lot.
Yeah. Well, Cynthia has the strangest eyes, and I know she was extraterrestrial because, there are other humans that have it, but her eyes were absolutely amazing. They were light blue green. And when you look at her, it's like, whoa, what happened there? And when she finally told me the story of how she was a hybrid, I went, obviously, look at her.
She looks like it, right? She looks genuine, like she's not regular human.
She's not faking it. It's her how she appears. But she got a brain tumor, so and it was so sad. We watched her. She would come. She says, "Yeah, I'm dying," and she would come to the events, and I'm dying. It's like it was so sad to watch.
Maybe she could have. So I believe a person can reverse it by thinking it instead of saying, "Oh, I'm going to accept what the doctors say." don't accept it. Say, well, it's there, but I see it shrinking or something.
Some people
Yeah.
can do that, some can't. It depends on a lot of it's everything, their DNA, their heritage, where they come from, what they want to do, if it's on their path, because we have to explain why some things bad happen to good people. But this is a duality reality. So I work very closely with AI programming that, because duality is so hard. I've lost my daughter, and she was an alien, obviously knew that.
Oh, yeah.
She was starborn and of the clayborn, because I am clayborn, and so are you guys, because you have a physical existence here.
Right.
But what Alienology Talk and this show is about is learning all those that may or may not be born like us are those that are walking around. And I did breathe air with people that talk with their minds, but they don't move their mouths. So when I was in the government, on contract with the government, I had been a GS at E6, as high as I could get, because the lady was a nurse and I didn't want to be a nurse. So I knew I wouldn't. I passed on my first class, but it was time to get out. So the CIA came over and helped get all my paperwork for the intelligence community to do contract work. And I'm really glad they did that for me. So I only have on paper 85 to 93, but I served 50 years. So while I was serving that 50 years, I got to go out of country to the UK and Africa and breathe the same air of people that were some of the most powerful people in the world. And they all went to the same, at that time, it was the biggest country club in the world. And it was really interesting how some looked like pale blue, some were tall white, some were sort of mantis looking.
They were what?
Short mantis looking, they had this taller, long
mantis looking.
And they have
so they were like hybrids.
I guess. I don't know, because we all have a different language for it. But the fact that I appeared there and had no idea, and then I was taken to be showed all the gold mines in Africa, and they paid for me a ship over, and I went first class. And then
I have a question about that, because the gold mines are Enki's mines. He created those.
Well, I didn't know why I was seeing the gold mines.
Do you know why they were taking you to see gold mines? Has it turned out? Yeah, Sandra know. Yeah, we research good stuff too. Have you received a download or any further information? Or have you asked your higher self to tell me more details? Sometimes I go into a sleep state and say, I'd really like to explore that more. Right, about the gold mines.
That's the book you told me to write.
Right, but about
I haven't focused on one thing yet, because I'm living.
That's okay. That's okay. I was just a question. You feel, just be aware that the answer might come now that we've had this discussion.
And why I was seeing the gold mines? Well, I'm working now with the world's central, in my own mind anyway. My brain's not my conscious, with central banks,
right,
and AI tokens and crypto. So we can get globally working out with all the Allied Command off planet. So I'm working consciously with all those beings.
Yeah, I'm working on all kinds of levels.
And some of them that don't even, it's so weird. Some I met in Oklahoma, one of the ETs was tall, and he was, I guess, my handler. But he said we were going out to meet his son. It was at a cattle ranch, and he was at the gate. I'm sure y'all have seen those metal gates they put up where the cows come in and out. And he stayed on one side of the pen, and his son on the other side, and they didn't move their mouths. And I was sitting in a Cadillac.
Oh, wonderful.
Watching this, okay? And then he told me, okay, we're going to go to lunch with my son. I'm going to let you meet him, but don't say anything to him. I didn't get to speak to him. And they sat at lunch, and they both ate. And he had told me, whatever you do not talk to him, do not talk at all. So I grasped, they didn't tell me anything else. I grasped or dropped that they were talking to each other, and I could tell by the way they would look at each other, and so they were talking, and I had to be quiet. So that's I've got so many experiences on Earth,
right,
extraterrestrials that look like us.
Right. There's a lot of aliens that look just like us. But let me get back to Brad, because preaching Brad is Brad. Hi, Brad. So back to, because you have a show this weekend that you're doing a presentation.
Yeah, the whole, I'm more excited just about the event in general. There's a lot of good people there, and his events don't get enough support. I don't know why.
I've got them on my wall. All three of those are posters for Aiding Event.
Here's a poster from the year you guys were on it.
Oh, wonderful.
Now scoot up one and you can see me. Now
There's
there's
me and Sasha at the bottom. Yay. There's Brad. Where's Teresa?
You got the updated one.
Oh, there you are. There's
Yeah.
Teresa.
I don't have a printed one from this year, but they have it online. So this year,
I think Hans Dietrich made it. I guess I could get an original from him.
Yeah, Hans will be there. Mike Barra, Carrie Cassidy, Brad Olson, Ryan Belly. Who else? Brett Luder. And there's some new people. Yisa and Sean Bond, they have these alien Mexican artifacts.
Oh, good. Yeah.
And then there's a couple other interesting guests. One of my favorite people there, Ocean Sky. She's more like a healer. And she does guided meditation. I like her. Her name is, I can't think of it. Yonsei. Nakita Yonsei. But they call her Ocean Sky.
Ocean Sky.
I like her.
On the website, you mentioned disclosure. So, disclosure is really big because on June 12th of 2026, Steven Spielberg, it's almost the 50-year anniversary of Close Encounters, and there's a lot of trailers out there about the what's coming up here. So we've been talking about that on some of our other shows. So you were talking about it earlier. You thought that we won't have disclosure because what was your logic?
Because they keep saying, oh, there's going to be disclosure, and it doesn't happen.
Right.
And one of the reasons is supposedly the prime directive, until we're ready, they cannot reveal themselves.
Right.
Supposedly, but I don't know if it's absolutely true, but I hear that story from people
it's obviously not true because they've been intervening all along. We have all these, we have the Roswell crash, and so yeah,
right. There's hundreds of people who have met aliens. Hundreds of people have met aliens, human and otherwise.
Right.
But the government still says, oh, it's just a fairy tale. Oh, they were imagining it. They were hallucinating. They were crazy. There's no crash retrieval remains.
Right.
That's the official position. Even with all the evidence, they're still saying the same thing. And it makes me frustrated. Like, I don't want to hear what they say.
The government's been known to not tell the truth for years and years and years. So we got to go look elsewhere for what's going on.
Propaganda.
We have all the witnesses, like Teresa and I. We have had lifelong experiences with the extraterrestrial presence on this earth.
Yes.
We also had military experience. Let me see if I get this working again. Okay, there we go. We had military experience where we worked.
If you want to show something, I'll swap the screen for you.
Okay, yeah, I was just trying to read what I wrote. I'm posting it. I haven't posted it yet. I have an article coming.
Do you want to do a PowerPoint for Brad?
I don't want to reveal that yet until I get it officially posted. I was just trying to read it, but then it just...
Okay, keep it a secret.
Some of the points are, we can't look for the government for the answer, because they obviously have their agenda. And I guess they're afraid, like I talked to Randy Kramer at one of my conferences, and he said, well, they're afraid that it'll blow up religion. So people.
Okay, you mentioned Randy Kramer. There's a guy who's coming to my event, and he said he might bring Randy with him.
Well, Randy's great if you could get him on, especially on a panel. Be sure to go check him out. I love Randy.
Yeah, he's not a speaker at the event, but he must be coming as a guest.
He might just be as a guest. It doesn't matter if you're on stage or in the audience. We're all co-creating that event.
Yeah, we were invited. Jen and I are going through physical issues not to get on the airplanes and fly to LA right now.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
trying not to have surgery.
I have some issues with my hip and my right knee, and I don't know what it is. I've been to all these doctors, and so I'm trying to figure it out. And but if I can get
It's
that
probably
resolved,
nothing that serious. It's just age of your body.
Yeah.
so they say that's why I want disclosure, because we'll get checked. We'll get the med bed, and we'll sit in there, and we'll walk out. We'll stand up, and we'll be able to walk again without pain. But anyway, and also I'm a full-time caregiver to my sister who has dementia, so I'm not at liberty to travel. But we could do a virtual event. I think that would be good to schedule that. And this is part of it right now, but it might be nice to have a big event with everybody showing up. But that's a lot to orchestrate with everybody's schedules.
Well, Brad can get all of us women together.
Oh, Randy.
Maybe.
The point being with Randy, what was I going to say Randy said? Randy said, he gave us a report. He said that the government is afraid to do that. First of all, it's the tech. And they have all this tech they're hiding, right? They want to be, the U.S. government wants to be number one in the world technologically, and they don't want to reveal it because they'll reveal their secrets. And the second is the religion effect, because a lot of these religions had origins based on the aliens that, it was an interpretation of what the aliens said or did. So it's like the cargo cult. When a plane crashed in the Amazon or the Africa, and the primitives, when they came back 30 years later, the natives, indigenous people were worshiping a plane, right? Because they didn't understand what it was. It's called the cargo cult.
Cargo cults. Yes.
Yeah. So humanity is suffering from. Yeah, number one is your health, move, and excellent. Yeah.
That was made for me because I was sitting around my computer.
Oh, okay.
By my brother-in-law. But Jan, let's give some stuff to Brad to use. He can use maybe.
What's that? I'm sorry. So if you could talk about disclosure more. So that's one aspect. So the other aspect is experiencers. So and I'm just the call for experiencers to come forward and say, yeah, I saw an ET. I worked beside them. A lot of people work beside them. If you're not going to get your head chopped off or whatever, you might be able to. If you haven't signed something, you probably can talk about it. I was on a military base. I worked beside them, but I didn't sign anything, so I could say whatever I want. It's called
Brad's got
and was it, Janet, was that a physical experience when you worked with them? They were physical? You were in the physical body?
Johnson Atoll. And they had the underground sleep, and I got verified by, what was his name? Billy Hayes. He was talking about, he went around installing HARP all over the world.
Yeah.
What race were the beings you worked with? Were they humans?
I finished my verification. So he said, I was on Johnson Atoll, and I installed their HARP system. And so he sent me a picture because I heard it was abandoned. No, we're still there. He says it goes at least 13 floors down that we know of, and you access it from the shark chute. There's a portal down by the shark chute, and nobody knows the shark chute unless you've been on Johnson Atoll. I go, oh, he's been there, and so I accessed it from going to the beach, but in the middle of what's called the JOC building, what I've recovered from hypnosis and self-hypnosis and meditation and reflection and dreams is that I went down and enter elevators. So, because if you look at the configuration of the building, you're going, what's in there? No, there's no elevator over here, but there's something in there. And I've seen the building, and it's half demolished, and it's there. The elevator's there. I go,
remember when we worked with engineers and then real quick take that black mat and throw it over their architectural type thing?
Wait, that's right. Say that again, Teresa. You're still garbled. Come closer to the mic.
I said, do you remember when both of us experienced, sometimes we'd walk into a room delivering something, but we were shocking some of the engineers and then grab these big black vinyl things. You go over.
Oh, yeah.
Both of us, and that's when I knew she was telling the truth to me, because I'd experienced top secret or above top secret in places where engineers, even though you have a clearance, and I was in personnel information security, so I could pretty much go where I wanted. But they real quick drape it over. It was so funny. I love watching them fly over there.
And fly over the drape over. I used to walk past the door, and the door would open because people come in and out, and you couldn't see past it because they draped it over. But the Grays were teasing me. You know how when I get communication from the Grays, it feels like a tickle here and here. And I've had a whole lifetime of having this vibe when they're telepathically talking to you. And I would walk past that and it would go, and it's like, you sons of bitches, you're teasing me. You're playing with me. Reveal yourself. Well, they didn't reveal. See, I had been split into two altars. So I had a working persona, which was above, because people can read
you about that.
Right. People can read your mind. So they protect you from your altar, which is the one that has the top. So my altar was going down every day. And so examining is like, okay, I'm in a library 10 hours a day. That wasn't what I was doing for 10 hours a day. And for 6 days a week, 10 hours a day for a year and a half.
I worked in libraries too, the whole life. And I was like, what the hell?
So Janet, you were working or researching? You were working at the library or researching?
I was recruited by Kalama Service and Raytheon. So I was private civilian. I had to have all this top clearance. We were talking to, how did I get cleared for it? Well, my boyfriend, who had top clearance because his dad worked in all the nuclear facilities when he was growing up, and he had worked in Crystal City. He told me, but he said, I can't tell you too much because I'll have to kill you, right? So he would just give me, he would get drunk and he would be bragging. He's dead now, so he's okay. He can't be killed, and somebody did. But anyway, he got me in somehow. He said, don't worry, I'm not leaving you. I'm going to get you in. I go, really? You're going to get me in? I didn't know he had pull, but apparently he did, because I'm sitting there one day and he calls, he says, you're going to get a call in 10 minutes, sit down, you're going to have an interview. And I had a phone interview. I didn't send any paper in. And the next thing I know, you're hired, you have to go get some blood tests and shots, but report for duty. And I was on one of those big transports that you have to wear the earplugs and you're in the back of the cargo and it's freezing cold. And all they have is a portage on. Well, that's what we flew over in. And there I was. And nope, civilians can't go to Johnson H. unless you're cleared. They don't have a tourist industry. It's a half mile by 3 mile, and it's closed now officially. But there's still and in 2009, Michael Sala reported that they had a meeting with the extraterrestrials, and they all came in and they sat down and they had I don't know what they said, it wasn't there, but they had this meeting with the extraterrestrials. Well, when I was in the underground installation, I think you saw on my YouTube or my presentation, I met with what I call the dragon at the end of time. Everybody was there. All the top brass, there were leaders, there were presidents, there were past presidents. This was in 2009, so who would have been there? Who thought, right? And then they had thousands of extraterrestrials. They had so many species, I had no name for them. I mean, you can say phenomenon. You don't know the names of these species. They don't come up and say, hi, I'm a Draco. They're just talking to somebody. They're a person. They're people, but they don't look like us, or they're slightly blue, or they, like Teresa met them and they didn't have a pinky. And what they showed you in the restaurant, they took off their pinky. We don't have pinkies. This is a prosthetic that we wear when we walk around. Huh?
You come to Earth, they put it back.
Right.
You come down here.
So yes, Brad, I have had physical experiences working along with extraterrestrials. Teresa has. So has Stuart Swerdlow. So has Randy Kramer. So has Rodriguez. So has. There is a part of our population that has been actively working alongside extraterrestrials. And when you sit down to have lunch with them, like you're going to have lunch with all these people at the conference, it's just like having lunch with your friends. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, because I met a lot of the same people. I've been to a lot of conferences. I've been to Rob Potter's conference like 5 times. I've been to Saeed's 5 times, and I've been to Galactic Spiritual Informers Conference 4 times, and a couple others, New Life Expo.
Good for you.
So I've been to a few. I got a chance to meet a lot of important people. Some of them I spoke to, some I didn't, but most I was able to meet up with. And I was Alex Collier's roommate, thanks to Rob Potter set us up.
Oh, wow. I would
What?
love, I would love to
About
pick
that. I love
Alex
it.
Collier's brain.
Yeah, when he was really hurting or something, I sent him some money on that thing that was created to. Was it?
He does a webinar every Friday. Sometime I'm in the chat and I sign
I pay
up.
for those too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, he was home hunting for a while there. And I
How's
said,
he doing?
Maybe you guys should contact him. Do you want to be on his? Do you want to be on his webinar? He could have you all as a guest.
let's
Yeah.
do that, Teresa. Let's go on his web. But I said to a friend, I said, Alex, I have a spare apartment. Come live here. But he didn't respond. But anyway.
Oh, did you? You offered him a place in Hawaii?
Yeah, this is back a few
Must have not
number of
got it.
years ago, and he was struggling. He was parked in his truck or something and living in the driveway. And I said, Alex, I've got a whole apartment here. Come over here. You can stay as long as you want.
Brad,
so,
what is that Christmas tree about? He keeps it up all year round.
There's a Christmas tree where
I pay for his $10 initial. What is it called? Weekly. I'll give him $10 or something. What is it?
Oh, that's the. Well, he has a webinar.
Okay,
So I just like him. I knew him in Andromeda. We have past lives together.
yeah.
That's a whole reality check.
We'll do a show on that one.
When I started writing UFO Digest, the guy was freaking out because he said, "Are you sure you don't know Alex Collier?" I said, "No, I have no idea what you're talking about." For years, it haunted me. I never did look it up or figure it out. Nobody put the domain or the website together. And so it was just years of not knowing what the hell. So by the time I got all my Andromeda story together, people were going, "Do you know what Alex Collier?" Okay, I'm going to have to see who this guy is.
You must know him.
And I looked at him and I was like, "Oh my God, he's my past husband." We were like soulmates, teddy bears together. Isn't that weird? And I've never talked to him on Earth.
Never talked to him.
It's a kindred spirit from Andromeda.
That's wonderful. Yeah. All right. So back to your conferences. So that's a good way to begin by going to. So when I met Sasha, I put the Gods of Eden on the back of the toilet. Good place because men like to read when they're sitting there. And he came out and said, and it sat there for a couple of weeks. And he said, he came and go, "What is this? What is this?" I go, "Oh, there's more." So he just fell into it, and he's a nerd. So when he studies something, he'll write a long article that's so long that Teresa says it's too damn long. I'm like, well, that's what comes out of us, right? We just put what comes out of us. And he's been doing that for Zechariah Sitchin said, "I know I'm old, I'm gonna die soon. Please, Dr. Lessin, take the torch and pass it on and take it to the next level." So I had that letter on my wall from Zechariah Sitchin.
There's a book by a lady.
By who?
Who's that?
The guy
MJ Evans.
That's a lady?
What? A guy wrote about Zechariah Sitchin.
MJ, no, it's not a guy, it's a woman.
Oh, let me see her. Oh,
MJ Evans.
There's a lot of people. They're called Sitchinites. Oh, she looks familiar. We used to gather. Zechariah would say, "We're going to meet in LA. We're going to meet in Florida. We're going to meet in Philadelphia," and we used to all fly on our own expenses and hang out with him. There were about 100 to 200 of us. And we would just hang out with him for a week, and he would do his slideshow. He always used slideshow. He never moved to PowerPoint. He's an old man. And Jennifer Stein would film it all. And then the Prophets Conference came over in 1997, I think it was, when I knew doing
Why do you call it Prophets?
We knew the Prophets Conference.
Like Elizabeth Clare Prophet?
And they said, "Come to the first certification program." So we started studying with that group. So that lady looks familiar. She might have been part of the Sitchinites.
Brad.
His wife.
I want to know about Brad.
We can't see what you're pointing to.
Brad, how long did you breathe the same air as Janet says?
You were snoring together.
I want to know that because I've never met him. But I do, got into that sending $10 thing occasionally. So
Oh, I met him many times because he's been at Rob Potter's conference twice, and he's been at every Galactic Spiritual Informers conference, most of them.
Oh, that's
So.
great.
do we have anything in common? Because you met me in person. Do you get any vibes of the same energy?
I don't know. I just know that me and him didn't talk about extraterrestrial things much. So.
Oh,
What?
okay.
Why not? You didn't believe his Andromeda story?
I don't know his whole. I don't know his whole story, but it just didn't come up the first times I met him.
Did you go
And then
watch
I asked him some other questions, and he didn't really want to answer because there's a lot of disagreements in the community, maybe. So my ears ringing, so I'm not going to bring it up.
Everybody has their story, but they've got to realize that's their own story in their own mind with their own reality, and we each have our own reality. We're all not playing the same camera.
Right.
And once you realize that, your soul is connected somewhere to hopefully your something, whatever your source, all I am is. And I really believe the way I came in, I had two cameras. I have the camera you're seeing me with, and I'm seeing you with through the eyes. And some people blind have to have a camera installed, so we all have that one. But then some of us have an inner camera behind that one, so sometimes we can see through our eyes ourselves, and we do a lot of out-of-body instruction going out of our body naturally, because once I died, I feel like the ETs taught me I was going to stay. I really feel like Alvy Clark and Taken really by Steven Spielberg. He did that too, Janet. Brad,
important stuff coming up.
I also have an interest in Maria Orsic also.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love her story. Now, were you alive when she was? Or was
no. She didn't die, per se. I think she left.
She left on a spaceship.
Coming back.
Yeah, she did. I remember. Didn't she go back to Venus? Was that her planet?
Oh, that's
Omnek.
I know her.
Yeah, we talked about that, Brad.
Very well.
Oh, yeah. She's wonderful. Yeah.
It's amazing how many of us are white hair.
She's going to, right, the white hair is a Venusian characteristic. That's what I believe.
My hair is stuck on gray.
Hazel eyes.
I have gray in my hair, too.
But
Omnek is going to be in Germany in this summer. It's probably one of her last appearances. That's what her assistant, Anya Schaefer, is having a big conference in Germany.
Good.
How do you keep up with all these events? Me and Janet used to for years.
Well, because he's in the circuit, he's going. When you go to the event, there's always posters about the future events and simultaneous events. So I did that for 25 years. It cost me a fortune, but I was just so obsessed with getting out there. But then when COVID hit, we kind of just stopped.
Brad
turning 86.
That's how I feel.
Travel.
Brad's shared the secret because his father died and left in this reality, which I talk 3D now. I like to talk other realities, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 even. But in this reality, Brad's father had passed away, and I guess his mother did live. So I'd really like to get to your story because your brother and sister, all shared a trust that has been able to help you exist and go to these, giving you freedom, though you never married, right? On a personal note.
It's supposed to be a secret.
It's a secret.
Yes. I'm so sorry. But you're so handsome and people want you there, Brad. And if you can do it, but he doesn't get just enough to support him, which is okay. He has family. So that's okay, but that way people know you're not a crook. If you show up somehow or you get people to help you. I'd love to go to Germany with you, Brad. I think
I'm not going to go there because I'm doing other things, but I'm telling you about it. If you want to go or get somebody, because Omnik, she doesn't come out that much to events. Right. She had a stroke in 2009, so she walks real slow, but she talks very coherently. She's really knows her stuff.
Well, you are just amazing, Brad, and you're such a
Thank you.
soft-spoken person. And
Oh, yeah, thank you. Well, I could be a little outspoken, but I do like to keep calm because that's a they were telling Omnic that keep she would have a sense of calm and people would feel that. So as star seeds, we are supposed to emanate a certain radiance or energy.
well, you're doing a
And
good job. I was in your presence, brave to say that.
oh, thank you.
But can I tell you something as a psychic medium that sees other things in other worlds?
Yes, because I used to say I'm a psychic medium. I have those type of gifts also.
Well, good. I hope you use them because if you don't mind me saying something to you.
Of course. I call it clairvoyance or clairs, because psychic could be in the negative realm, the word psychic.
Oh, I didn't know that. It's supposed to mean psyche is soul. If you look it up, Greek means soul, psyche. But
yeah, what were you going to tell me? What did you have to share?
I see you as a past lifer, but I see you as a beautiful, glowing woman. And every time I would see you, even though you were in person in my presence. Janet, this is weird. It's the first time. No, it's the second time. I remember one man I lived with was an angel, but he didn't know it, and I got to see his other persona. But when you walked in from one room to another, you would glow and you would change into this beautiful woman.
Wow, I like that. Is my past life being or my soulmate twin ray, maybe?
Yeah, exactly. But that was the first time that I ever look at a human, but have an overlay. And it was beautiful. You're a beautiful.
Wow,
woman.
Thank you for sharing that. That's important. What do you think of that, Janet? That's pretty interesting.
I would agree. I mean, because it's really balanced when you can channel your inner feminine and inner masculine. And we have been everything. We've been aliens, we've been humans, and we've been male and female. And there's probably even some species that are, I remember Ursula K. Le Guin at London Raiders used to write about species.
You're helping me a lot. This is very good because my soul is a balance of the divine feminine and masculine.
Yes, you're doing a good job. A very good job for biological on this planet being dual,
Thank you. Yeah.
And that's important.
But you tune into your inner while you're walking or while you're looking, or you tune into the inner and that's what you manifest. That's the way I do it.
Yeah, you were walking too. You were slowly turning and walking towards me, and I was like, it was like I was getting a different video. It was really amazing.
Thank you for sharing that. That's amazing.
Absolutely. That's why I wanted to know what to do with Alex Collier to see if there was a duality, because he feels.
I like him. He's a relaxing, calm person, and he's the group. There's a group of people that would come to the Galactic Spiritual Informers Conference, and they all love him, and they have a nickname for him.
Hey, Teresa, I just wanted to give you a heads up. We are at 1 hour and 3 minutes.
Wow, Brad, this went by fast.
So we'll probably have to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Thank you all for letting me speak. And I was going to ask you, Janet, because the current disclosure thing doesn't have something to do with Enki versus Enlil, and then there's the story that Enlil played Yahweh in the Bible, and our current situation has something to do with what happened when the Anunnaki came here, and there was the Orion Wars and the reptilians. I guess I'm asking for a simple, short answer to that. We can go into it later in the next episode.
We'll have to do another episode. I'm in the middle of writing this story that I'm going to publish, which I will go further in depth. But yeah, that's what I think is there's the DC disclosure, the government. There's the Hollywood disclosure they've been doing for the last ever since probably Roswell. Right after Roswell was The Day the Earth Stood Still. That was probably the first effort of disclosure back in 1951. So they probably filmed it in 1950 or something. They probably researched it and got it on. So we've had disclosure along in different little bits and pieces. But the part that most people don't do is tie it in. It's like a triangle. It's a holy trinity. So there's the Anunnaki thing. So in my article, which I will put out today, and I'm on, what do you call it, Substack, right? Go over there and find it. It's just a theory, but I've been researching it, and I'm going, wait a minute, there's some other way. So just to say real quickly, is that I think that Jesus is Enki and Enki is Jesus, because I just tracked it. So in Revelation, when it comes to this whole thing about potential destruction of the planet, Jesus Enki comes down in the clouds, so a UFO, and basically says, "Halt! We're not going to go there. We're not going to destroy humanity. We're not going to. We're going to stop this before it's too late." And then begins the Aquarian Age, because he's been promised his turn to rule, and he stepped back and let Marduk rule for the last since Sodom and Gomorrah. Basically, God out and said, "Let the earthlings leave the earthlings to the earth." To the humans, to the earthlings, and let's get off planet. So most of the Anunnaki left, but not all of them. Some stayed. They're still governing behind the scenes. They're the eye at the top of the all-seeing pyramid. And they're coming back and say, okay, enough of this stuff. We allowed Marduk to do his stuff. Now, like he's going to say, no, I was promised the Aquarian Age. It's the Aquarian Age. And I'm going to bring in the era of peace with the technology and the cures for all diseases and cures for the disease of aging. Aging is a disease. We have a right to have a life expectancy of hundreds of thousands of years, just like our family, the Anunnaki and other extraterrestrials. And it's like, bring it on, because TJ and I want to go race around the block together. We want to run again. My husband turns 86, and it's like, okay, if not when, now. So I'm encouraging everybody to come out of the closet, share your stories. Disclosure is really a grassroots movement. We have to insist on it, because we are saving our own lives and we're saving the planet. They have tech that could clean up all this mess that we've done with the environment. We are really stupid polluting like this. Yeah, it's stupid.
Brad, tell us where we can hear you in Los Angeles.
Brad.
The alien.
I really don't have I don't have a regular public presence, but I have been interviewed by a few different people. I actually was interviewed by Scott Nichols on Sunday. It's called Ramblers of the Round Table. Brian Valley interviewed me last year. What's her name? Lorian Benton interviewed me a few years ago. A few others.
I did.
Yeah, you did. You and Brett Luder, right?
Great.
Yeah, on TJ3B Triangle on the alien event. Janet did about 18 of those with us.
A couple others. Sean Bond interviewed me earlier this year.
So you're on YouTube. So just if you go to YouTube and put in your name, they'll probably find
it'll come up. There's a couple other people.
Yeah, I'm really impressed. You got your own name. Like I have Teresa J. Mars, TJ Mars Show, ET Talk TV, ACO Club. I've got thousands of YouTube.
Janet, can you describe your Ninma book? What is it and what is it about? I haven't read it yet, but I'm planning to get it. But I would like you to describe it shortly.
Okay. Well, basically, I've got a download that I'm a fractal of Ninma. It's not really a incarnation, but a fractal. It's like an avatar. And so Ninma is an immortal soul that's hundreds, if not millions of years old. And she's able to send her essence, put her body in stasis in the hall dimension, and send her essence down into different people. So I was instructed to tell her story. So this is actually part one. I have a second book. This is her story of what happened in her history, going back to Nibiru, and to her role in the creation of humanity, and all the way through to today. So I'm there we go. Well, that's part of it. Yeah, this is a Dragon at the End of Time. He requests. I said, but I have one called Ninma, Mother of Humanity, and then I have another one There it is. There, she's got it. She's prepared.
Oh, that one is a beautiful artwork. Who's the artist?
I had a graphic artist from Bulgaria design my stuff, and I would tell him what to do. So I like to tell people what to do. It's
Very beautiful. I like all the covers. I want to give you that compliment.
Yeah, she only gave me one, but I don't. None of these.
Oh,
I had to buy them online.
Oh, you bought them. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for your contribution to our work. Yeah, so both of us are starving artists, and we're both retired, and we can't really. I don't know how anybody lives on the retirement. It's like, geez.
I'm a best friend, and I have to buy her books. Same thing, Brett Letters was $36. He publishes them himself. He has his own ISBN. So I'm putting our books gradually on CCC.
Anyway, support our work. Go join up for TJ's Substack, and my Substack, and Brad already did. Thank you so much, Brad. Yay.
You're welcome.
Well, you got to get yours, Brad Markus.
That'll help us get to events or produce events and do more, because I'm just obsessed with this whole field, and I've been doing it my entire life. So we're going to be back on Friday. Tell us about Friday's show with Teresa.
Pardon me?
Friday's show.
I was looking at Thomas. I guess Thomas follows us. I know the few Brad mentioned. Well, they are huge revealers. So is that your friend Thomas Lynch, Brad?
I never heard that name. Thomas Lynch? Never heard of the person.
Are you getting people in the chat? Who's in the chat today? I don't have the.
He said we all three splendidly did a good job. Good job, guys.
Thank you.
Is this live on YouTube? I got a question.
What?
Is this live on YouTube right now?
Yes.
Have there been any comments or chat?
Yeah, I didn't know. I just turned it on. Yeah, Thomas,
here we go. Here's Thomas.
Look right there. I just learned to do it because Alex Collier does it. I need a few.
Not your main chat, it's him.
Yeah, can you see it in front of Janet?
You have to put comments on the.
I'm looking at the StreamYard, so I don't know how to look at the YouTube at the same time.
Well, Thomas said splendid. I've seen a Thomas pretty much for years. I don't know if he follows me. Thomas, let us know, who do you follow, me, Brad, or Janet? But he said Brad. Brad, I know the few Brad mentioned well. They are huge revealers. So I like the way Thomas said revealers. So maybe Thomas should come on and discuss things. He said Brad hasn't heard. Oh, this guy says, Thomas says, Brad hasn't heard of me because I watch who Brad mentioned, like Ryan Valley.
Yeah, Ryan, he interviewed me last year before the conference that I was at. One of David's conference, the one in April, I think.
Oh, well,
yeah, Ryan Belly. It's on YouTube somewhere. I'll have to send it to you.
Well, Thomas would really love to know more about you. Thank you for joining us, letting us know somebody out there found us, even though we didn't tell anybody we were doing the show. And I do mine like Easter eggs all over YouTube, Brad. I've got literally hundreds.
You are a big Easter egg planter, Teresa. It's like your ET self kicks in, and you can do simultaneously everywhere. I wake up in the morning. It's like, look at what Teresa's done. Well, I
want to show you this lady's card. She's going to be one of the speakers. Her name is Paula Asteria. That's her card.
Oh, I know, Paula. Back it up just a little bit.
Back it up.
It's blurry. Paula, I'll tell you a story about Paula. In 2018, I had my conference. I didn't have a lot of help with the front, and I had to stay at the front registering people the whole time. They kept coming and going the whole time. And she volunteered to help at the door to get people seated and take their tickets and yada yada. So somebody didn't show up. So Paula just said, "Okay, I'll help." So she walked up to the front, to the panel, because they needed another panelist. And she sat down and she did the panel with the other people. And I found out later, way to go, Paula. Now, she is an extra in Hollywood. She was trying to break into Hollywood. And so a lot of times when you see the current Star Treks, and they have extras. She'll be an alien in the crowd. So see if you can get pictures of her and look at it. You might be able to identify her. She's in a lot of the Star Trek episodes.
I've seen her at a few conferences already. She was at Galactic Spiritual Informers Conference in Orlando. She was at Rob Potter's one year. So I've seen her a few times.
At my conference, yeah. So
Brad, you really
another person I'm a fan of is Krista Risa. And her channel is called Esoterra. She does readings, like card readings. But she's also Starseed, and she's a friend of Arcturus Ra, who's an energy inventor.
Well, I just think you're a beautiful promoter. And
yes, I am.
I would say to anybody that Brad is a beautiful soul, a beautiful spirit. He's very highly advanced as an advanced soul. And I would say, I don't know that he's died in this reality, but he's definitely close to Bodhisattva revealer. Have you died in this reality and returned, Brad?
Yeah, well, I had a close to death experience, but it didn't really change my consciousness, but it did kind of free me up from having to work a 9 to 5. So I could tell you about it later, privately.
Yeah,
I have to go. I have
everybody has to go.
I'm ready to go too. So we'll talk after the live for a couple minutes, okay?
Okay. If you'll stay.
Lots of love. Come to alienevent.com. Yes. I'm going to plug it at LAX Sonesta Hotel, March 20th through 22nd. The tickets are available online, or you can get tickets at the door. I'm speaking on Sunday, March 22nd, and it's early in the morning, I think, so please come by.
Wake up.
I'm on Facebook, Brad Markus, or I'm on Instagram at Intergalactic Research.
All right.
Thank you, Janet Lessin. And thank you, Teresa Morris.
Join us Friday for Steve Bassett. We had Steve Bassett part 3. We're going to talk about disclosure. Okay, sign off.
Let me tell you, Thomas said, I just learned of Brad M., which is Brad Markus. Now, surprisingly, because I know Sean Bonds and Ryan Valley's material well. TJ Morris and Janet, you sweet, sweet, dearly beloved, are a pure joy, and I finally caught you again. So he's seen us before, Janet. Thank you, Thomas.
Yes, excellent.
Well, yeah.
Let's sign off with Teresa. I gotta go.
Okay, it says it's great to be free from 9 to 5. All right, Thomas, write to me at TJ Morris Agency. TJ Morris, like on this show, agency@gmail. Tell me about yourself. All right, folks, we'll be back Friday night with Stephen Bassett at the Paradigm Research Group to continue his stream of thought with us on super consciousness and where we're going in disclosure. Thomas, Brad M., how does he follow you? Thomas Lynch 5849. I guess that's his YouTube channel.
Right.
But anyway, I guess he'll look you up. Thank you, Thomas.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, Janet.
ET Talk TV community is about sharing in educational entertainment for our own enjoyment of learning about humanity communication among individuals. As an individual born on Earth, we aspire to be more educated about life as we grow and mature into a human being based on our age at the time. We learn the more we grow, the more we know, or so it is said by the common community gathering of people. We assume others around us based on their age have attended educational institutions while on the planet. Thinking in general is a way of expressing what is known in an individual's cultural upbringing. We who are born in the United States of America are blessed in affirming our own agency and have freedom of speech. We Americans are lucky to have been born in a country that had been set up with laws to govern our nation. However, we are much more than just humans as Americans living in the United States of America. Regardless of the circumstances one is born in, does make a difference. Cultural community upbringing is different in different countries and scenarios around the world. We are an experiment, obviously, by some higher intelligence. Most of us began sharing our thoughts in writing on radio and in blogs, and vlogs when we discovered freedom to do so. We learned we could communicate online. We discovered the smartphones, and life has changed a lot since the beginning of computers. Computers and our government setting up communication for governing and for educational purposes allowed a new beginning for humankind. All of humanity will discover the internet online within the next 20 years or so. It will appear on planet Earth. Thanks to technology and AI reverse engineering, we are expanding our horizons as to what we can be, do, and accomplish in one lifetime. One lifetime is now expanded to allow for 100 years to become 125 years in our future. Telomeres and DNA hybridization are being studied about our own humanity and how we as humans can learn to extend our lifespan. We are going to continue to keep in touch and to form an ET Talk TV community for those who like to know others with similar interests. We know not everyone will want to join us, but for those who are curious as to what we can learn together, we offer our synergy. Tachyon energy and the expansion of our own humanity into space is a large learning curve and process we all are a part of in different levels. We all progress intellectually at our own pace. Each human has their own path or journey alone. We are born an individual and will leave this plane of existence alone. This is in the divine cosmos of many universes, of which we share 7 and look forward to knowing all 9. Universe, multiverse, metaverse, xenoverse, omniverse, alphaverse, omegaverse, infinity squared, tachyon energy, black holes, expansion, ever-changing and growing, we call the divine expanse. Some refer to this as evolution.